This is John Goat again here with just another video. We're going to be taking a look at the Bornless rite and why my faith and confidence in Abraxas and Akephalos is being challenged right now. So, the Bornless ritual, for those who don't know what that is the preliminary goetic invocation to an entity that Aleister Crowley popularized, but this already existed. It's from the Greek Magical Papyri. Now, back in the old days when the Christians and the Jews began to really take over the occult and dominate the entire world, this is the invocation that they would use to basically assume the form of their god Yahweh. They would become Yahweh, and then they would abuse and sigil torture and just shit upon whatever demon or spirit or Goetia. They would, abuse them into doing their will. And then Aleister Crowley came along at a later time and switched some of the things around. But this is a Greek Magical Papyri in translation, including the demotic spells by Hanz Deiter. And this is a Greek Magical Papyri, verse 596 through 172, page 161 out of 397 in the actual PDF or paperback book itself. So I'll just pause this real quick and I'll let you pause it and read the ritual. Well, here are the two things that really concerns me and stands out. There are two references that pay homage to Jews in Israel. So right here on line 110, I am Moses, your prophet, to whom you have transmitted your mysteries celebrated by Israel. You have revealed the moist and the dry and all nourishment, hear me. Then again on line 115, I am the messenger of Pharaoh Osiranophris. This is your true name which has been transmitted to the prophets of Israel. Hear me. And then you can just pause it and read. And this is where they got the idea of where they assume this faceless spirit, this unknown entity that they call Yahweh, that they call the God of the Jews, where they would summon this force and then they'd torture whatever spirit into doing their will. Now there's a few variations of the ritual I'm going to share with you real quick. The Aleister Crowleyan Liber Samic. And so you can just pause this real quick. Now, one of the things that Crowley changes, he changed Israel to Mot. So instead of this, thou didst commit the mysteries of ceremonies of Israel, he says, thou didst commit the mysteries of ceremonies of Mot. Thou didst produce the moist and the dry and all that which createth, nourish, and destroyeth all life. Hear me, for thou I am the angel of New Mot. This is my true name, that's how is given unto thy prophets. Then in another copy of Liber Samic, this isn't the actual ritual, this is an analysis on it, and he says that Crowley replaces Israel with Chem. So some versions of it says, I am your prophet of Chem. Other versions say, I am your prophet of Mot. This one, the Greek Magical Papyri, says that both of the later versions were inspired by, says that I am the prophet of Israel. And then some of these barbarous names, these sounds. one of these names is Abraxas. I'm pretty sure I've already passed it. I found it, Abraxas. So this is a few lines down after the priest or devotee who performs this ritual confesses that they are Moses, to whom they've transmitted the mysteries celebrated by Israel. The Pharaoh Osnonofris transmitted to the prophets of Israel. Abraxas, right here. Then I have what led me to looking up this all is I have my copy of Ecclesia Mysteria by Tau Constantine, published by Martinet Press, which is basically a book of Sethian Gnosticism, basically worshipping the void through Abraxas and Berbelo. So this is the Ecclesia Mysteria version of the Headless ritual. There it is right here. And here's both pages. So why am I making a video about this? What does this have to do with Abraxas? Well, then you have that biblical verse, Isaiah 45:7, which explains the dualistic nature of Yahweh and Lucifer. It's a double-edged verse depending on how you see it. I form the light and create the darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So what does this have to do with all that? Well, I'm not so sure on who exactly Abraxas and the Headless One are anymore. Now that I've stumbled across all this, you know, I used to think that I was attacking the demiurge, that I was going against God. But now I find out that, you know, this all is God. Not just Yahweh or Saturn, but all this has to do with the fucking void. That Abraxas is the void, Jehovah is the void, Yahweh is the void, Satan is the void. It's all void. Void worship. And there really isn't much of a fucking difference depending on which god or name you're calling upon. If you're working within this system of Sethian Gnosticism, Christianity, Judaism, Satanism, you're all fucking working in the same fucking cage. You know, you're working with different walls. You know, and you think you're fucking attacking each other. You think you white and dark brotherhood, you think you're fucking opposing one another. You're just feeding the same fucking cell. And this sucks because it's a very extremely difficult pill for me to fucking swallow. That everything that I've done, everything in my past videos on my channel have meant fuck all. They've gone to just fucking jack. Now I'm going to tell you that this Bornless ritual is powerful, though. It is powerful because it has to do with consciousness. especially these lines right here. I am the one who hates that unjust deeds are done in the world. Now, I've had to use this ritual before. I did something very, very stupid. I'm not going to go into detail right now, but basically, I cursed someone's roommate or bound her. I really went overkill with it when really all I needed to do if I just wanted to get rid of this person is to just toss her picture into a river or something, or just visualize her leaving my reality field. When really she didn't do anything to me. I just wanted to basically evict her. So because there was a certain apartment that I wanted, and like, oh, if I can just do this grand, super overpowered ritual, that it'll create an opening for me and I could have that room. Well, I never got that room, and I ended up fucking myself a lot worse than I needed to. But this is a ritual that I performed, not the PGM version, but the Martinet Press Ecclesia Mysteria. This version right here. And I was able to undo that curse. How I did it is I basically did everything that I've done to that person, but in reverse. So I did the ritual backwards, let loose the puppet and picture and everything. I scattered the pieces and all over to disperse and fucking just scatter the energy in all directions. And what happened is I ended up having a bout of good luck. Me and my friend, we went out to the casino later that same night, the same day that I performed in the morning, and both of us won some money at the casino. I'm not going to tell you how much we won, but we did experience a bout of good luck. Now, for a while, the true headless one assumption has nothing to do with Yahweh, has nothing to do with the spirits, but it has everything to do with the assuming the I am presence, the I am consciousness. And the reason why when you do this right, even though it has some of the void and biblical trappings, like this and this, is because you're not becoming the demiurge, you're not becoming the manipulator or supplicating to any force outside of yourself. I consider it an exorcism, and you're actually removing curses that have been placed upon you, not just by yourself, but many, many lifetimes and lifetimes of fucking programming over and over again. And you, for the time that the energy barrier that this particular evocation creates around you, for that 12 hours or day, depending on your energy systems, how long these effects last, is it removes these fucking blockages and curses that are preventing you from attracting good fortune, from attracting luck. They're preventing you from achieving and getting what you need to get. So this could be just Hanz Deiter's translation, because Hanz could be a Jew. So I'm not going to go out there and say right away that Abraxas is Yahweh, that this was the exact ritual that Moses gave to the Jews in Israel. I'm not going out and say that, but seeing this and this doesn't really help that much my faith and conviction in the Headless One consciousness and the Abraxian consciousness. Now, one more thing about Isaiah 45:7. It is a verse to Abraxas or Lucifer, and this is a double-edged sword. Okay, creation and destruction, creating order and chaos. We are beings of balance. We are beings of both light and darkness. We create peace. We can create beautiful things, and we can create ugly things. That's what this verse means. Is that we are the Lord. We have that fucking I am, the absolute presence within ourselves, and it's a double-edged sword. So when the manipulators and dark priesthoods and the Zionists use this verse, they supplicate to Yahweh. They create confusion. They create peace for themselves and evil for everyone else, and they do all these things to further their own selfish agendas. Whereas the other side, the other edge of this verse is the Gnostic, Luciferian verse, whereas the Gnostic serpent, Abraxas, or the serpent of Sophia, creates darkness and disorder for the enemy and creates peace and awareness for those who are stepping into this I am presence, this I am consciousness, and does all these things because we humans are triangulated. God, just look at the acronym God, G-O-D, generator, operator, and destroyer. That's what this verse means. Anyone can do this. Anyone can create light and darkness. Anyone can create peace or create chaos. Anyone can do all these things. That's what it says. So I'm not, again, I'm not saying, Abraxas is Yahweh, but when I first came across this did not look good. Now, if you are Sethian Gnostic and you do literally believe in Abraxas as an externalized divinity or externalized God force, then yeah, you are going to hit the fucking ceiling because all Gnosticism just comes from a victim mentality. The idea that creation is bad, life is some kind of disease or condition, and death is a cure, and fucking the cosmos is a prison. If you're still in that fucking mentality, then you're totally gonna hit a fucking ceiling sooner or later. You're gonna get chewed up by the lower astral abyss. You're gonna be spat the fuck back out, and you're gonna be forced to reconsider what you previously held or believed to be the empirical truth.